Hey folks, I'm in the village of Limpsfield in Surrey, not far from Oxted, just down the hill from the sort of Botley area, and I'm going to go on a walk today to discover Titsey Airstrip, which is not far from the M25 inland a bit. And I just discovered it on a map, and because I've got an interest in local airfields amongst many other things, I thought I'll set up a little walk, have a look at it, share it with you, and then make my way back. So it's a loop walk. It's about just over 3.5 miles. Usual details at the bottom of the screen. And I'll put a very rough overview of where I'm going to go. So I'm in Limpsfield Village, going to go up the sort of Limpsfield Road and then off into the countryside, walk along, find the airstrip. It's quite small, and then loop my way back round, back to where we started. So let's go and discover Titsey Airstrip. Some sunshine and some wind today. It's that time of year. Beautiful cottage there. Rose Cottage. The signs of spring are all around us. Actually, I said Limpsfield Road, it's actually Titsey Road, but we won't split hairs. Lovely, really nice. A number of times I've come along here, go down that way straight ahead towards Oxted. He made it, he's in my video. Such beautiful properties here. I have to be a bit careful today, there's an absence of footpaths. I actually bought some high-vis bands and things that I could put on my bag just to provide a little bit of extra safety protection, if you like, and then I left them at home. So this is the view. So the Titsey estate itself is all the way over there, that neck of the woods. Can't really see too much, and there are some nice walks in this area, but there is a lack of car parking, so you have to choose where you can park and then add that kind of extra bit onto your walk, if you like, which is just part and parcel of doing country walks, really. I have planned a couple of walks starting in Titsey car park, but when the home isn't open, there's only literally a handful of parking spaces, so you have to be very lucky to get in there. I've got a little bit of verge to play with here, so I'll take full advantage of that. Helping me and the motorists. May or may not be possible to hear the hum of the traffic on the M25 nearby. That's very much a feature today. A bit like the Botley Hill walk that I did. Now, is this the footpath? Check my bearings, I think. Had a little look at the map. That goes on a slightly different route. It stays this side, the south side of the M25. And I don't really want to go up there and then get caught somewhere I didn't want to go. The car's done off belt along here. You gain speed going down Titsey Hill, and it just kind of carries on. And you've got that beautiful village at the end of it. I mean, there's some twists and turns and climbs just before you get there. But yeah, wow, whizzing along here they are. That is the London M25 orbital motorway. We're not far from Clacket lane services. Right, having now crossed the M25 on foot, I'm tempted to go back over the other side here because a little bit more grass and safety to play with, even though I'm not strictly facing oncoming traffic. Nice gatehouse, lodge house there, 1868. Always stands out as you whiz by. It's slightly uneven here. Usual firm recommendation for good footwear. We're doing some tree work along here, clearly. Some flowing water there. And it is a prime location, because here we have an SES water, I don't know, pumping station, I'm guess, maybe a small reservoir of some sort. I'll get the camera through a little bit closer. Familiar railing, so they've got a TV aerial, so a need for signals to be sent / received. Okay, oh, that looks like a heron. I'm not sure it's going to be picked up. Come back round. I did just get my phone out there, added the clip on. That was a nice sight. Whoops. Oops, there we go. Yeah, oops, I'm sliding. Not much. We've had the usual rainfall. There's some kind of valve thing in the little cage through there. It'd be great to have a tour of one of these facilities one day. And if you know people that know, I'd love to have a tour of some kind of facility in maybe the Thames Water area, ideally an area that I've covered, or Sutton and East Surrey. So YouTube, make it happen, please. Thank you. This reminds me of that hollowed out tree in Hamsey Green all those years ago, although it was about twice the size of that, maybe larger. Okay. It's suggesting to me that I can just walk straight across the field here. A very, very wet field. The groundwater is just something else this winter. There's a flood agency warning still in place. They're going to revisit it this week, but for the best part of the month of March it's been a high warning. The Bourne River is flowing in the area. Caterham, Whiteleaf, Coulsdon, Hurley. There are a few locations where you can see it, but it's been well reported and it's been flowing well. Ah, now this must be the official path. Look at that, a line. I suppose I wandered over because I was more interested in the water installation over there. So I'm on the path. I am on the path. It's funny, the volume of noise is far more from that side, from the right hand side. Straight ahead of me, I mean, I haven't got a directional mic on here, so you kind of have to take my word for it, but straight ahead of me it's relatively quiet, considering the volume of traffic that's thundering along there. And for confirmation, we've got the public footpath sign here. And we're on part of the Vanguard Way. Now it seems louder. So now we go straight ahead with a little bit of a climb. Same about some of the litter that collects here. The wind's on my back, so it's kind of being blown here, really. Prevailing wind. Cable for fencing. Well, I don't, as I trip over said cable for fencing. I mean, I think I'm quite good at looking at where I'm going. But yes, I got caught out there. I guess most people when they go for a walk don't hold a camera. I've probably disturbed some nature already today. Right up the top there, I think, is Titsey Brewery Company. About there. It would be a totally different experience, wouldn't it, if we didn't have the M25 30, 40 feet to my right. See a pheasant in the distance. Hen pheasant, I think. There's a few brambles down here, so if you're wearing your shorts when you come along here in the summer, you've been warned. It's only going to get more heavily overgrown, if you like, as we move on through the year. I'm guessing not many people use this path. Vanguard Way, disturbing nature. Listen mate, you're better off going that direction rather than the other direction. So, waterway. The River Eden flows around here. Maybe part of it, tributary. Some leaves starting to show themselves, which is nice. Nice bit of woodland there. I've got to carry on. Whoops. First proper slip on camera. I mean, this is almost Wellington boot territory. This is a bit strange seeing it from this side. Little pheasant running along ahead of me. Seen a few today, haven't we? I'm assuming it wasn't needed. Aha! We have a footbridge. Vanguard Way, that's away. and also you can turn left. Let's have a little wander. On the basis I've never been over here before. Much noisier now. Sunday morning, M25 Surrey in full flow. Clacket lane services just ahead. I feel I'm going to need to shout a bit, but there's Titsey Wood in there, which I mean to explore at some point. One of the things I can do today is just to get a handle on it, how easy it is to get to. But we've got an airstrip to find, so I will leave the noise of being directly above the traffic on the M25 and go to hopefully a quieter pathway to where we're heading. Wow, what a difference. It would have been interesting to measure the decibels. My watch sometimes warns me if they're too loud. Football, dance floors, and you get this warning, but it's so much quieter already. Moss covered fallen trees there. It very much looks like they fell naturally, or the wind took them. Been some chainsaw work done. So private land that side, saw a sign, okay. It's funny how things just find you on a map rather than you looking for them sometimes. An example being where we're heading today. But there were some other features that I saw, and I will be coming back for similar length walks into this area because they're well worth exploring. I did think I could possibly do 2 in one walk, but it might make it a bit too long. What a lovely sight that is. So there's a kind of junction up here, and we'll be heading off to the right. Okay. That's closed. That's a duck. I need to go a bit further. It seems like there's a slight change in perhaps access, because I was expecting to be able to go through the gates on the right, along the edge of that field where the trees are, and then cross left, continue over the other side. I mean, I could scramble over gates, but I think normally there's a sort of actual opening to suggest that you can do such a thing. This is one of those things where it doesn't quite turn out how you thought or hoped it might have done. So I've put a screenshot on to show that I am in the centre point of what would be a mown airstrip. That is my view. Probably not mown this time of year, but I am 100% confident that I'm in the right location. And right ahead of me is the end or beginning of Titsey Airstrip. That's it. Not too far from the M25, not super distance away from Biggin Hill. An example being, again, a dot, but an aircraft flying above now. Interesting if he tried to land on Titsey Airstrip. So this is it. It's a grass airfield. It's pretty flat, I'll say. Cambers over a bit towards the right because I think that's the little stream or tributary or something possibly to do with the River Eden. If I go the maximum that this camera can do sensibly, and then a kind of midpoint, and then sort of natural view here. That is Titsey Airstrip. So now, on a day when I've had to already chop and change some of my path plans, I'm going to see if there's a route through further up this path to get onto the main road, loop round where I came from. I think I can get through here. I mean, this looks like it can easily carry motor vehicles, possibly just farm vehicles and the like. If I bump into anyone challenging me on the way, I shall plead ignorance, beg forgiveness, and hopefully carry on. Looking back, and I can see a very faint double line there, but it could be anything really, just sort of in the middle here. But yes, I would have walked along, crossed over, because the official footpath, there's actually a gate on the other side, would have crossed over, gone up to Pilgrim's Way / Pilgrim's Lane. Yes, it is what you think it is. And then joined up where the church is. So I think this has to be a proper footpath. There was very little online about activities at Titsey Airstrip. It might be a once in a very long while that a small light plane can land there. As usual, if you know any more about Titsey Airstrip, answers in the comments please, because I'd love to know more. Have you flown from here? Have you landed here? Have you got any photos, video, to satisfy the curiosity of one local historian and filmmaker? Thank you all. Let's go. A pleasure to not be slip sliding. Lots of these little waterways, little streams. Perhaps in other years they would have been completely dry. Dry-ish in the winter. Disturbing these birds and their Sunday nest building and things. There we go, more drainage. Lone tree on the landscape. It's definitely the start of the getting out and about season. Lots of aircraft going out for little trips and cyclists. And not many walkers apart from me. I saw a couple on the drive down, to be fair. So here we got the gate, but I can walk to the left of it. Whereas the gates went right up to the fence boundary in the other section. So Pilgrim's Way, and that was, it's official now, public bridleway that we've just been on. Stand over, let the car go by. It's Glebelands, that property. So connected with the church in days gone by. Possibly still. Lovely roof tiles. And here we have the church. Very pleasant there, church cottage. Very nice. Titsey Court there, just on the corner. Beautiful, beautiful. So where the cars that whiz along the road that we saw earlier, Titsey Road, where they build up the head of steam is behind me. That's Titsey Hill, comes down from Botley Hill, and it joins up with where we've already walked. So we're on the loop back now for sure. Titsey Estate, Titsey Place and everything is all behind there. Well worth a visit if you can in the summertime. I think starting May to September. All online. I'll put the website details in the description for this video. On it. And I'm going to have to choose very carefully where I walk up here. This is really dry. Really dry. On a slope it all drains away. Probably ends up down there somewhere. This is my current footpath. I even managed to slip then. Look at this. Have to be a bit careful here because there's a sort of ledge where I am now, but it falls away there. So we looped inland to see the grass field / airstrip. Now we're heading back towards the motorway area. So that's where we started the walk proper, really. The water installation of some description from Sutton and East Surrey, and then the pathway that goes in that direction. I find one area of interest, or just explore a town or village, and it's amazing what that triggers in terms of other layers of the history. And yeah, it's just like an ongoing and quite fulfilling journey. Now, so there's a public footpath here, Vanguard Way. Let's have a little look in here, and I just tripped on that, so watch for that as well. I saw FB on the map, so this is said footbridge, and a gentle flow. I am pretty certain this is the River Eden, so think Eden Bridge nearby, well 15-20 minutes away. This is a tributary or part thereof. Across that footpath is where you would park for Titsey car park, and in that area generally there was a Roman villa. That is a future video that I aim to do. Stay tuned / subscribed, and I will tell the story. And if I do it when Titsey Place is open, I can stop in for a cup of tea and a bun and that kind of thing. So good. So that was just a little kind of teaser / view, and we're back on our way. I won't play poo sticks. There we go, River Eden. Another little word of warning, I'm on this pathway up towards the village, last leg, and there's very little space here before it falls away. There's basically a kind of, might be difficult to see, but there's a hole there, it just kind of falls away. Not tremendously deep, but enough that you would hurt yourself if you jumped in there, for example. It looks like this fence has just given way in that area, so this is probably what it should be, all the way. Got disturbed by cyclists chatting to one another. Thought they were talking to me. Right, Limpsfield Village, conservation area, please drive slowly. They were told back on the bend, reduce speed because there was a bend. Maybe it just sounds faster and I'm being harsh. Nice fungi on there, 2 different types maybe. One at the end, one on the side. No fungi jokes, none. Not going to do any. No, none. Even if I'm a fun guy to be with. This is where it's slightly dodgy because it's blind. I'm going to cross over because at least I've got something to cling to. It's probably safer to be on this side where I could dive in than on the other side when there's no chance. Oh, I wonder if there's a footpath here. Could be a late change to the route here. Why not? It's safer. It's not too muddy either. Good drainage in this part. There's things that you just don't know exist until you get out on foot and discover them. Little robin there on the left, I won't disturb him. There we go. Is that a dove house, is it? Dove cot. That's where I came from. I guess you can carry on up there if you want to. Well, I'll just go back down here. It perhaps wasn't what I expected it to be. The signage on some of these houses is very similar all the way along, so it's Titsey related signage, font, colour. The bus stop here, I'm not convinced it's that regular a service. I think it might do a loop from Oxted perhaps. No timetable, no number. Something going on up there. Lovely magnolia blossom. Be a bit careful about the corners. You just got the junction there. It's actually a continuation. It's not actually a junction per se. And we've got the church up there on the left. So that's the end of this video. We did discover at least the site of the airstrip, and I know it was the exact site of the airstrip. And after a few little detours here and there, got back to where we started, so that's all cool. And once again, thank you very much for watching and supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.